who is over the age of 65, which means most likely you know someone who's at risk for a serious disease called osteoporosis. My uncle has been dealing with this disease for many years now, and it's put a huge strain on him and our family, so it's really important to know about. Therefore, in my presentation, I would like to discuss with you the signs and symptoms, causes, diagnosis, treatment, and preventative strategies of osteoporosis. According to a research article written by PLOS1 called Functional Relevance for Associations Between Osteoporosis and Genetic Variants, published in 2017, osteoporosis is a disease in which the bones become extremely weak and they're more likely to break. And it happens when the new production of new bone can't keep up with the removal of the old bone. And it's somewhat genetically determined as well as environmentally. An article written by NCBI called Osteoporosis, the Role of Genetics in the Environment, published in 2007, claims that genetics determine about 75% of bone mass, and genes that have lower bone mass are more likely to contribute to osteoporosis. Genes that code for vitamin D and estrogen receptors also affect the amount of bone mass because it's often caused by lack of hormones such as estrogen in women and androgen in men. And according to an article published on WebMD called What Causes Osteoporosis and Why by Rebecca Taylor, another cause of osteoporosis is the lack of calcium. And when you don't have calcium, you can't rebuild new bone matter, and you need a consistent amount of calcium in your body since most of your organs need calcium to function. And when these organs don't have enough calcium, they can often take calcium from your bones and use it, and then over time this can leave you with thin, brittle bones that are easy to break. And some of the signs that you might have osteoporosis is back pain, loss of height, stooped posture, or a bone that fractures easily. The back pain is also often caused by a collapse or a fractured vertebrae, and this is very painful because it causes the back to squeeze the nerves in the spinal cord. And then the most common symptom of osteoporosis is a broken bone because most people don't know that they have the disease until they have a broken bone. And then the stooped posture happens because of the compressed vertebrae, and this is often very painful because it causes back pain and difficulty breathing because of the excess pressure on the air passage. And the National Osteoporosis Foundation says that diagnosing osteoporosis can involve a lot of steps, including medical history, a physical examination, a bone density test, FRAX score, and lab tests. During the medical history portion of the exam, the doctor may ask the patient questions such as their history smoking, drinking, history of broken bones as an adult, physical activity, or history of osteoporosis in the family. For the physical examination part, the doctor may see if the patient has lost height or look at their spine. And the bone density test is currently the only test that can diagnose osteoporosis before a broken bone happens. And the test basically measures the bone density and the likelihood of breaking a bone in the future. And the FRAX tool uses the information from the bone density test to examine how likely the person is to break a bone in the next 10 years. And then the lab test is to try and find the reason for the bone loss. And usually the lab test includes things such as the calcium levels, thyroid functions, and hormone levels in your body. According to the book Osteoporosis International, published in 2005, written by Chen Yu and other professionals, there are many treatments for osteoporosis. And most of these treatments include medications called bisophosphonates. A research article written by BMC Musculoskeletal Disorders called Treatment of Osteoporosis in an Older Home Care Population, published in 2005, indicated that most of these medications work by slowing the breakdown of bones, which helps the new bones rebuild and break down at a more constant rate than they were before. And it also increases the bone density and decreases the likelihood of breaking a bone in the future. And the only main side effects of these pills include heartburn and stomach aches, but most people don't even experience these side effects. And when the disease is caught earlier, it's a lot more easy to treat because it hasn't progressed as much. And some preventative strategies that you can do for osteoporosis include an article written by the Journal of Women's Health said that some of the things you can do are eating a well-balanced diet, which includes the correct amounts of calcium and vitamin D, and then exercise is also really important too. And some good sources of calcium include dairy products, soy products, and salmon. And vitamin D can either be absorbed through the sun or in fatty fish like tuna or salmon. And exercise can also prevent bone loss and build strong, healthy bones for the future. And a combination of strength training and weights are most beneficial for this. And bones protect and support the body and help the body move and store minerals. So they're extremely important for our overall health and well-being. And therefore, it's very important that you learn about osteoporosis now and how to prevent it early before you have to start looking at treatment options in the future. So if you or someone you know could be at risk for this disease, it would be a good idea to let them know about osteoporosis before it's too late.